Yes, you heard that right. Tiffany Henyard is no longer the mayor of Dalton, and word is spreading fast that she's been booted from her Thornton Township supervisor seat too, which means that whole super mayor nickname she crowned herself with, the cape she wore to boost her image, it might be retired. But let's keep it real. Whether she's in office or not, she'll always be super mayor in the worst way. The scandals, the chaos, the non-stop cover-ups, that legacy isn't going anywhere. Right now, she's facing the most serious reckoning of her career. No more ignoring. No more hiding. She's racking up potential $1,000 fines every single day for refusing to hand over public records she's legally obligated to release. And now, she's officially been summoned to court. Not on Zoom, not with an email, in person. This is happening the first Friday of June. And if she blows this off like everything else, it's not just fines anymore. We're talking contempt, handcuffs, jail time. The same woman who once ran Dalton and Thornton like her personal empire could end up behind bars, charged with abusing power, hiding public records, and treating taxpayer money like play money. Don't worry, we're breaking it all down. Every twist, every shady detail. But let's rewind to one of the most jaw-dropping moments in this saga. Picture this. Tiffany Henyard sitting in a board meeting, confidently saying, "I don't handle anything related to credit cards." Like she was completely detached from the mess. But hold up, weren't some of those charges tied directly to her? Flights to Vegas, fancy dinners, first-class upgrades. When pressed, she gave the smug, "Of course I know," followed by the classic dodge, "Any other questions?" Yeah, like why there are charges at Cafe Hollywood and Hot and Juicy Crawfish, right off the Vegas Strip. Her excuse? I just answered that. Except, no, she didn't. And that's been the playbook. Year after year. Deny, deflect, distract. She paints the media as villains, claims trustees have personal grudges. But the receipts? They don't lie. The credit card statements paint the real picture. Tiffany wasn't traveling solo. She brought township officials and their spouses on what were essentially political vacations dressed up as government business. Every dollar? Taxpayer funded. And while she was blowing public money, she padded her salary with travel stipends from out-of-state trips that often had nothing to do with Dalton. Then came the collapse. Watchdog groups stepped in. Loudest among them, Edgar County watchdogs. They filed FOIA requests, basic demands for receipts, statements, meeting notes. And she flat out ignored them. Even after being pushed out of office, she clung to those documents like they were nuclear codes. Why? What's in them? Because what's already leaked is damning. Look at the Lightfoot report, an outside investigation into her spending. And even that only scratched the surface. Remember the luxury SUV? A shiny Chevy Tahoe with a base price of $93,000. That alone raised eyebrows. But the real scandal was the deal. She signed off on a lease that ballooned to nearly $150,000 after interest and fees. That's $55,000 flushed on one car. A trustee even joked it looked like a teenager signing a 27% interest loan. The paperwork doesn't lie. Lease signed December 27th, 2022. Base price, $93,216.71. Interest, $55,929.49. Final tab, $149,146.20. And when asked about it in public, Tiffany literally said, "I don't see that," and brushed it off like someone brought her the wrong latte. And that SUV? Just the beginning. Let's talk about her so-called security. Instead of relying on normal police detail, she ran a full VIP entourage. The officers assigned to her were pulling in jaw-dropping overtime. The wildest example? Officer Terry Young, who clocked 303 hours in a single 2-week cycle. To put that in perspective, there are only 336 hours in 14 days. That left him just 33 hours total for sleeping, eating, and being human, unless he worked in his dreams. The math doesn't check. And his 2-week paycheck? Over $13,000. In 2 weeks. That's more than most people see in 3 months. And how does Tiffany react every time these scandals hit daylight. Classic Henyard strategy: deflect and blame. Trustees, betrayers. Journalists, twisting facts. Critics, racist, sexist, political haters. Everyone's the enemy, except her. But at this point, excuses don't cut it. This isn't embarrassment anymore. It's a legal disaster. The Cook County judge is done with the games. No more hiding behind Zoom. Tiffany is now required to physically show up in court and explain why she's still withholding public records. And if she doesn't, that's physical contempt. That's jail. That's cuffs. The same super mayor who once strutted around City Hall might soon be walking into a holding cell. And if you think this is just courtroom drama, think again. The feds are circling. Word is, the FBI has opened an investigation into public funds being misused and into retaliation against her rivals. The Illinois Attorney General's office, they're in the mix too. Even with Tiffany stripped of every official title, the wreckage she left is now dumped on the new administration's desk. And Mayor Jason House, the guy stepping in after her exit, is already drowning in a bizarre legal mess over the historic home of Dalton icon Pope Leo. That fiasco? A whole different storm will break down later. But the fact that it even landed on his plate tells you everything you need to know about the chaos she set in motion. Tiffany's favorite excuse has always been the same. I'm just the face of Dalton. I don't control everything. But that line doesn't fly anymore. Not with investigators. Not with judges. Not with taxpayers. Especially not with signed contracts, receipts, and payroll documents pointing directly back to her. And just when you think she's about to finally sit down and go quiet, she pops up on Facebook Live, calls it all lies, says the media is out to get her, plays the card that this is an attack on a strong black woman in power. Her classic spin? They're not targeting me for what I've done. They're targeting me for who I am. Maybe that still lands with a handful of loyal supporters. But for most people, the patience is gone. Folks want proof. Folks want answers. Folks want accountability. Honestly, this saga could be its own courtroom reality show. Wall-to-wall coverage. Live stream drama. No edits. No spin. Just raw chaos on display. And if the day comes where footage leaks of her being held in contempt, if those cuffs actually snap on, you already know we're breaking it down frame by frame. Because this isn't just a Dalton story. This is a warning shot. A reminder to every city, every township, every voter. Watch who you give power to. Hype fades fast, but corruption leaves a trail. So here's the reality check. Tiffany Henyard is still sitting on public records. A judge has ordered her to show up in person. Not on Zoom. Not through an attorney. In person. If she refuses, if she stalls, if she plays games, it's jail time. The fines are already stacking higher by the day. And now that the big paychecks are gone, the money crunch is about to hit. Oh! And reports say she's behind on rent too. As crazy as it sounds, eviction could be her next headline. From super mayor to super evicted. That's where this is headed. Now the ball's in your court. What do you think happens next? Does Tiffany finally face real consequences? Does the system actually hold her accountable this time? Or does she pull another disappearing act and dodge it all again? Or maybe you think this is just smoke and mirrors, another distraction while the real players keep cashing out. Drop your thoughts below. Sound off in the comments. Smash that like button if you're here for the truth. Subscribe, follow the socials, and hit the links below to support. This has been the full breakdown of the Tiffany Henyard saga. And from where we're standing, time's up, the money's gone, and there's nowhere left for her to run.